Adobe stock is easy money by Miles Talks Finance. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you do enjoy this content. It's free to like, it helps me out a lot. Also, subscribe if you wish. Just hit 1,000. Thank you guys so much. Adobe stock is looking very interesting recently. We see it's down 34% in the past year. Just today, it hit a 52-week low. If you see down here on the bottom right, the stock has been through a lot. Down to go down 34% for a company, especially of this size, is very sizable. This is an insane movement for Adobe. What is Adobe? If you guys don't know what Adobe is, what they provide a complete creative toolkit to say. Have a visual right here. They do a lot of video editing software. If you guys know about video editing, you know about Premiere Pro. That is what Adobe offers. They also offer, plans for that. So Premiere Pro, you can't just buy it once. It's $200 a year. Reoccurring revenue, great business model for them. I mean, there's another company that also uses that business model, and we'll get into that later, but we have right now Photoshop. So they also have Photoshop, which is just becoming increasingly more popular. You see this is possibly a Photoshop picture of Jerome Powell announcing Fed rate hikes. Very interesting picture right there, but we see that was probably created with Photoshop. So Photoshop is also another thing that they make a lot of. There are these two services that they offer, video editing, Photoshop. There's even more than that. They're now implementing AI into their software because who isn't? Definitely to cut costs and everything. That's great for Adobe. Business model is elite. Like I said, reoccurring revenue reminds me of Costco. Costco is another great business that has reoccurring revenue. In the past 5 years, they're up 145%. These two aren't similar businesses, but they do have very similar business models in the sense that they both have reoccurring revenue. Their free cash flow is very sound. Their revenue is increasing year over year, at a very, predictable rate. They're not just spiking, they're not just dropping very consistently. I mean, these are two very established companies with business models that they know work. They do very well. Why would you buy it right now? It's the perfect time. It's the perfect time to buy Adobe. To be completely transparent, Adobe isn't the first stock I want to buy. When I think, okay, I want to get into the stock market and buy a stock, I don't think of Adobe. I don't want to buy Adobe stock, but it's just too good of a price. I think they have a good business model, but I think the price in relation to, like we're going to see here, their PE ratio. In the past 5 years, their PE ratio is 20 right now. Their median in the last 5 years has been 42. This company has a competitive advantage over everyone else. Their PE ratio has been dwindled to the ground, and then we look at their revenue. Their revenue is increasing very nicely over the past 5 years. Here, it hasn't been down in the past 5 years. It's just only going up. I mean, this just looks like a constant line right there, and they're doing that while their stock price is getting beat to the ground. I mean, your stock price to be down almost 35% in a single year, and your revenue is still increasing at a rate like this. It's pretty impressive. There's not a lot of companies out there that are doing this. That just goes to show how undervalued the company truly is. Because if they weren't undervalued, if they were actually priced true to where their financials were, I think this would be a much more expensive company. I mean, you see the PE ratio, just this right here, with their median PE ratio being 42.91 in the past 5 years, and it's 20 right now. This company's value would be doubled if it was at their median PE ratio. That's just if it's at the median. If they had a high PE ratio the past 5 years, their value could be tripled. We could be talking $1,000 stock. Also, this data that I'm pulling from here is from market-io. If you guys do really like this data, they give amazing information that I can't find anywhere else. I just started using this service, like it a lot. Use my referral code down below for 7-day free trial, no obligation to you. You guys can cancel whenever you want. But yeah, I really like their service, and I'm getting a lot of information that I couldn't get anywhere else. Okay, so the future growth opportunities for Adobe. Why would you invest in Adobe right now? Because you see the financials, they look great. You're probably wondering why the stock's down, but we're looking at future growth right now. Adobe's growth agenda is to serve these massive and expanding audiences, business profile or professionals and consumers. A lot of businesses use Adobe. I have a business myself, definitely use Adobe, very helpful. There's AI-powered, quick and easy apps to stand out through creativity and productivity. The space for creative and professional creators, like it says right here, is expanding massively. I mean, there's just everyone is being a YouTuber, everyone's doing content creation, marketing. As businesses become bigger, there's a lot of avenues that Adobe can take to make more money. And then there's a lot of just growth on that end where everyone, it seems like every single day, is becoming a new member to Premiere Pro, or, apps such as that or services such as those things. People are becoming new members and they're staying with it because it's so good. It's literally the best thing that there is out there. That's what I wanted to talk about. I mean, they have a monopoly. Premiere Pro is the best editing software. There's like two others that can even come close, which is CapCut Pro, which nobody uses that. I mean, people do use CapCut, but people that use CapCut, that's pretty entry level, editors, and it's great. I've used CapCut before too. It's a great service, but it's just not, when you get to that level, there's kind of a cutoff. Like, you can be a great editor on CapCut, but then you switch to Premiere Pro, and there's so much more you can do with Premiere Pro that it's just a monopoly. It's its own thing. And then there's DaVinci, but those two are not even really on the same level that Premiere Pro is. And Adobe's had this for a very long time. And the one thing that makes Adobe so cheap is that there is fear that AI is going to, take over their business or take their business model, or there's going to be AI editing software where you can just tell it to do this and it'll do that. But if you guys have experience with AI, it's not that receptive to, telling it to do something. It's very good at scouring the internet and finding information and giving you an answer, but it's not very good at creating, at least from what I've seen. So if you ask ChatGPT to create you an image, it'll do so. It'll create you an image, but then you ask it to edit a video, it can't do that. And I think we're a far ways away from that. I think that people are overestimating the power of AI. Yes, it's very innovative, but I don't think we're so close to the point where we're going to be able to tell AI, okay, edit this video in this way and make this happen at this time, in this, you make, this image this big and this text that big. I mean, at the end of the day, AI is not a person. AI does not know what looks good. AI does not know what looks bad. They're just, doing it strictly based on their prompts and what they're finding in relation to things on the internet. I'm sure there's a more in-depth, accurate way of saying that. But they're just reading code. They're not a person. It's AI. It's artificial intelligence. I feel like we say it so much now that we forget what it actually means. And I think Adobe's very far from that point of being taken over by artificial intelligence. So my final thoughts on Adobe is extremely cheap. It's literally risk-free at this price, I think. Because if Adobe drops any more, I mean, it's just that much more of a buy. You just dollar cost average down, because this company's not going to go into the ground no matter if, let's say AI comes out with editing software that's better than Premiere Pro tomorrow. This company still has over, $7 billion in free cash flow. There's literally no reason that this company is going to go into the ground. They have a great financial backing. A lot of companies don't have that. This is not a speculative play at all. This is just an undervalued company at a great price and a great business model. I mean, this company is making money year over year and their stock is still down just because of fear, just because of speculation. That's what I look for. This is a great valued company. I look at their business model, I look at their balance sheet, and then I'm thinking, okay, their balance sheet's great, their business model is great. Why are they so cheap? They're cheap because of fear that AI is going to take over their, company, take over their business model. And that I don't agree with. I think that that's a bad narrative. I think that that's something that, maybe Wall Street and big money is thinking, but, as a retail investor, I'm thinking that's probably not going to happen pretty soon. I'm pretty, in touch with the AI space, I'd like to think. Their financials are perfect. They are. You guys saw their free cash flow. You guys saw their revenue year over year. You saw that their PE ratio is half of what it has been in the past 5 years. They're not trading at a competitive advantage at all, which I think they should be, because Premiere Pro, I mean, one of their many services, is by far the best service in the photo editing space. And I'm also not scared of AI in this, sense that AI is going to, create an editing software that can do what Adobe does or better. I don't think that's going to happen. That's very far-fetched in my opinion. I think especially for that to happen in the near future doesn't make sense. There's just not enough resources. There's not enough, we haven't even seen anything come close to it. We've seen AI image generators, but I've tried to use those, and some of them, I mean, all of them that I've used are not great. With ChatGPT, honestly, OpenAI being the best one. And, even that one, it's pretty hard to get exactly what you want, because you can only write, you can only transfer from words to image so well before the point where the lines become blurred and you're getting something wrong. And then at that point, you've gone too deep. And there's a lot of things that just are better hands-on, which I think Adobe is. And so that's all I have for today's video, guys. I think Adobe is a great buy right now. I really don't have anything else to say. You guys can look at the financials of the company. If you don't agree with me, leave a comment down below why. I'd like to hear so, because I think this is a very, bland take. I think that there's just obvious, I think I'm just bringing attention to you guys that Adobe is insanely cheap if you haven't seen already. But yeah, if you do enjoy this video, be sure to smash that like button. It's free to you. Adobe stock is expensive. Liking the video and subscribing is free, so you can do that for me. I just gave you a very cheap stock to buy. I'll catch you in the next video tomorrow. Peace.